Go ahead.
Hi, Magby family. This is Grace. Most of you met me at the reunion that we just had in Opelika, Alabama, and Chambers County. Just wanted to share with you some things that I wanted to share with you on Friday and Saturday at the reunion in Opelika. All of you knew where you were descended from. It was either Babe and her kids, Chris and Tom Magby. I was the only one there probably trying to figure out where did we connect and how we were related. So since all of you knew how you were related, I wanted to share with you how or where I come from. I want to share with you my descendants. I want to share with you my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my father's family. And I just want to share just a bit of information about them. This is my great-grandfather, Oliver Lee Magby, born in Chambers County, but moved to Georgia in Troup County, and there he had 10 children. And the reason I know that is that on the censuses in 1880 up to 1930, I was able to find information about his location and his children. The other information I learned about him came from his death certificate. And his death certificate, right here, that I ordered, sent off for in Alabama, most of this information was given by one of his oldest children, William Arthur Magby. Most of this information, like I said, on the death certificate, we didn't know. We didn't know that his mother and father also were born in Chambers County, Alabama. And what happened is somehow they got moved. And I think it was somewhere in Georgia and in North Carolina. However, his name was Harry Magby. That's what it says on the death certificate. Oliver Lee Magby's mother and father were Harry and Lucinda Magby. And these were their dates. I tried to make sure they stayed there, right here. And these were the children. The only child we know of course, is Oliver Lee Magby. Oliver Lee Magby had 10 children. And this is a picture, just a graphic, of who those children were. The oldest one is Lee Magby, born in Alabama, and born in Georgia and raised in Alabama. That's my grandfather. Lee Magby married Beulah Magby, and they had 17 children, by the way. My father is Nemery Red Boy Magby. He is a twin. His twin brother just died recently I believe it was February of this year. And his name was Emery Black Boy Magby. And you can imagine why they call my dad Red Boy and Uncle Emery Black Boy. Also, you should know that at one point in time, and I think Jerome, you would be interested in knowing this, that my grandfather, Oliver Lee Magby, worked on the farm or the property of the Higgins in 1880, and that was in Troup County, Georgia. And maybe by knowing that, you can help me make some more connections. We made one at the picnic when we were at Cousin Via's house and Chris's old homestead. Anyway, this is a picture of my great-grandfather's children. This is 5 of his 10 children. I've met only 2 of these. And this is Uncle Henry, who lived in LaGrange, Georgia, and Uncle J.C., who moved who lived in LaGrange, Georgia, and Aunt Clara. I also met her. She was a long-time paraplegic in LaGrange at one of the nursing homes, so I had a chance to meet them as a little girl. These two I never met, but I did meet her son. This is, we call her Aunt Mary, but her name was Mariana Magby Freeman. And her son, one of her youngest sons, is Albert Freeman. Albert Freeman has lived in New York since the 1930s, I believe. But anyway, Albert Freeman was the one I went to visit, you know, chasing my family roots, trying to find out who I was and how we were all connected. Her son, Albert Freeman, gave me this picture, which is the only picture that I know in existence. He also gave me this picture, and I had it restored as much as I could at the time. So these are the only two pictures that exist of my great-grandfather and 5 of his children. The other thing I did was I created a pamphlet that I wrote. This was, I believe, in 2000, I want to say 2003, maybe 2001. The Magbys and the Cofields, you normally have a reunion every 2 years. The last one was just last weekend, right after we had the reunion in Opelika and Chambers County. But anyway, I created this pamphlet just to share with the entire family how I knew all of these people. And I wanted to share it with them, so I put it in writing. And I called it How I Came to Know Them. And several of them I knew, who's not in this picture, but kind of grew up with them in LaGrange, Troup County. And in fact, my Aunt Emma used to live on a street, on Vernon Street, and used to work for a family there in LaGrange, Georgia. And we were probably about a half a mile from where she worked. And we would often go over to her house and have apples and stale cookies and anything that, you know, she had just laying around. She would always give the kids. So she and my mom were really good friends. That was Aunt Emma. Anyway, I want to share that with you. And the last thing I want to share with you, of course, is my own family. And this is a picture, a graphic of how I put them together. And my mom was Sarah Grace Cox. And of course my dad was Nimrod Red Boy Magby. And we had 9 children. And all of us are still living today, by the way. Before my dad passed, we all took this picture together, and it's probably one of my favorites. And it was done probably around 1990, I would imagine, because my father passed in 1992. So anyway, I want to share those things with you, and I'm putting them in a form that some of the Magbys who were at the reunion can relate to, and hopefully you can help me to find a connection between these Magbys, Babe, Tom, and Chris, and the Magbys who are descendants of Oliver Lee Magby in Troup County. Wanted you to know also that we had a great time learning and meeting some of the most interesting people I've ever met in my life who are also Magbys. One of these days I hope to make a connection to see where we really do connect and how we are really related, because having been to the reunion this year, I know we're connected. It just felt like family when I was there. Okay, send me any information that you can that might help me to understand who I am in you. Have a great day, and see you in a couple of years.